you take notes in college or university? I'm a prof and I want to know your answer to that. How do you take your notes? And if you're like, I just write things down or I don't take notes, I'm going to encourage you to think about that. Metacognition. Think about thinking. How am I gaining this information? Am I just going and sitting in class and like absorbing it through osmosis, like it's in the air and it will come into me? Or am I reading before class and then looking for connections in the class? Am I just looking at their notes that they hopefully post? Maybe some do, some don't. And reviewing it as they're talking. Do I review it later? I want you to think about like when you're listening to a prof speak, you are getting like precious information. That is important time. There's a reason it's on your schedule. There's a reason you're there. There's a reason you're paying really good money to be in that room for that time. You're not paying for like the textbook, right? Like you pay for the textbook, but that's in addition to that lecture content. So you want to be there. Even in like lab classes or more hands-on classes, there's always a teaching component. And how we take notes gets missed in that. How am I going to gain and gather this information so that I'm going to remember? There are all kinds of note-taking methods. One that pops to mind is like the Cornell method. And there's different ways to set up your paper. I'm not going to tell you which way to use something. Even if you use something in high school, that's fine. What I'm going to caution you against is strictly taking their PowerPoint and writing around it. You can write in the notes, that's okay, but like you can write on a piece of paper that has the print off of the notes, that's okay. But I find students don't write nearly as much when they've got it pre-printed because you're not writing down what's there. If you know you've got it printed or you know you can print it and you've got a blank paper, you're far more likely to actually glean the key points. You're not writing down every point, but you're writing down what am I saying and what's up there. Like what are the key things I need to know? And that's going to reinforce them. And the other thing is, what am I saying that's not up there? And when am I dropping little like, oh, hint, hint, or this is really need to know this, or whatever they use as their sign of like, write this down. I find when you're doing PowerPoint stuff, you miss that. Or if you're writing on a computer, I'm not anti you using the computer to write. There is definitely research that supports writing by hand is better for retention. But, it's up to you. You're the adult. But if you're writing on a computer and I see this, the temptation for you to click on literally anything else is there. Versus if you have a piece of paper in front of you, it's a lot harder to like click on something else. So things to consider. You pick what works for you. Stick to it for at least the month, if not the term, and then go from there. Ultimately, you have to sort of feel it out. But what I want to encourage you to do today is just think about that. What am I doing in my note-taking? And is it working for me or not? Because post-secondary, university, and college is a very different world than anything that you've done previously. So just something to consider today, and good luck with all your amazing note-taking.